So this is going to be a video on a PDF reader I use, why I use it, why it's basically the main PDF reader I use, basically the only one I use and probably will ever use, why it's the best on Linux, and one of the big reasons is annotation. Now there are two main PDF readers that people on Linux typically use. It's like MUPDF or Zafira. I have the Arch wikis opened for both of these. As you can see here, annotation, one of the main reasons I use PDF-Tools, is supported by MUPDF, but puts it into like a sidebar thing. It's a weird way to interact with it. And then you have Zafira. It's Zafira, as far as I can tell, has no support for annotation. Um, and it's one of those that, I don't know, people like Luke Smith use. So, yeah. Now, when I read a book, which I prefer to read on paper, I typically mark up my books pretty heavily and write annotations. For example, I have a book here, Dawn of Everything by David Woodrow Graeber. David Graeber and David Woodrow. And you sort of have, for example, notes here where they're talking about the Nambikwara people in South America. And I have a little note here talking about how it's interesting that they've changed sort of structures depending on the time of year. And I need to get back to this book. I'm nowhere near done, but very good. Highly recommend. Now, I don't have that in most PDF readers. I don't have a simple pen like the one here in my hand that you can't see because I don't have a webcam hooked up to this. But PDF-Tools for Emacs does support annotation. And I can even create little written notes, not just highlighting, underlining, and the little squiggly lines. I can, for example, add a little piece right there, and just like this is a note. See, it can be as long as I want, and I just put it there. And when I hover over this, it's going to say this is a note, or you can click on it and look at it again. As I read PDFs, and as you can see, I've marked up this one a good bit. Sort of to how helps me keep it into my mind and take in the information of this study and other information within the paper. And PDF-Tools also, like, I saw people doing a video on rising Sathura. As you can see, I have PDF-Tools kind of rised. And I should also note the annotation takes place and puts it on the PDF directly. So that way, if I open it up in another PDF reader, it's going to have a lot of the same annotation. But most of the highlighting, underlining, and stuff, it's just going to be done with key bindings. You highlight it, and then to do the highlighting, you just boom, bam, bam. The key bindings for all those, you can underline. Oops. You can do a little squiggly underneath. You can cross out. I don't remember the key binding to cross out. What is it? It's going to be right here. Just a no. Okay, And as you can see, all the key bindings, the default key bindings, you can change them, of course. Displayed right there. All the key bindings right there for different annotations. And you can even create images, print out, but I don't do much else in this. And I do have a little bit of ricing done to it. If we go to my Emacs config, go theme. As you can see, I just set 2 colors to the dark theme and have it opened up dark theme by default. And that's basically all I've really added. I haven't felt the need to add much more. So it's a very useful PDF reader. It's better than the default Emacs one, which is like doc view. Very simple. You can get these annotations in there, which is the main reason I use this. Because as pointed out before, the other PDF readers on Linux don't have good support for annotation, or they do it in a weird way. And this just does it almost as if I'm having a highlighter and a pen in my hand, which I quite like. And it also has the advantage of, unlike a book, where when I'm writing little notes in the margins of the book, I have very limited space. I have infinite space for all my notes within the PDF reader, although I typically have my notes outside the PDF file. In a file within the folder on the topic I'm looking up. That's just typically notes.org. But yeah, I think that this is the best reader for PDFs on Linux. Shouldn't go for anything else. And that's all for now.